Eat more, weigh less. It sounds too good to be true, but it's not. Not on a plant-based diet anyway. So what we're going to do is we're going to show you that going on a plant-based diet does not mean giving up some of your favorite foods. And we're going to show you how a plant-based recipe saves you a ton of fat, a ton of calories from a traditional fare. For example, we're going to take a Whopper. We're going to look at the nutrition facts there. We're going to compare it to a plant-based burger. What you're going to find is staggering. Not just saving on a ton of fat and calories, but all the other nutritional benefits that come with it, including a huge difference in the amount of fiber. And so now, my next guest, dietitian from upstairs at the Barnard Medical Center, Miss Maggie Neola. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
I've pulled 5 very popular dishes. I believe that these are probably among the most eaten foods in the country. And so we have the original version, and we're going to compare that to the plant-based version. And certainly we'll have all of this available for you up on pcrm.org/podcast. And oh, by the way, these recipes?
They're all from the 21-day Kickstart.
That's what I'm talking about. That's a wonderful free app, by the way. Go ahead. It's available Google Play, in the iTunes store. Go right ahead and pick that up right now. You'll get these recipes right in the palm of your hand. The burgers. I mean, we talked about that. Burgers weren't really my jam. I was more of a Mexican fare kind of guy when I was really overweight. But boy, every once in a while, I would go to Burger King and I would get that Whopper or double Whopper, triple Whopper as I got heavier and heavier. Yeah. But let's take a look at the fat and the calories, that nutritional content for the Whopper.
So 660 calories, that's without cheese on it.
Wow.
So who gets it without cheese? A lot of people will get it with cheese.
Of course.
So that's
of course.
Baseline 660 for calories and 40 grams of fat, which is a lot of fat, more than you need in a day for most people.
Sure.
Yeah, and then cholesterol, 90 milligrams. So, first of all, our bodies don't need cholesterol.
Right.
We don't. We make it ourselves. But that's, it's already too much for our bodies to handle. And very little fiber, only 2 grams, because it's maybe coming from the bun and then a little bit of lettuce, but not enough fiber.
So that's the Whopper. And we'll get into the ingredients here in just a second. But if you flip this over and you look at the recipe that we have for the Portobello Burger, we're talking night and day difference here.
Yeah. So you go from like 600 calories to 160. That's quite the drop.
That's
You go from 40 grams of fat to 2.
Huh.
Wow. And you go from 2 grams of fiber to 6 grams of fiber, which is definitely better. Could be even better. But there's always all these ways to modify it. So if you're thinking about your whole meal, for example, like I like to have people aim for about 10 to 15 grams of fiber in a meal.
Right.
So that you can, if you're eating 3 meals a day, you're about 40 to 55 grams of fiber a day, just the little numbers there for you. So let's say you're making this Portobello burger and then you also have some like roasted cauliflower on the side and who knows what else. But this is on a bun. Maybe you have some hummus on top for some legumes. All good stuff there.
Look at you. You're so gourmet. You have a background in food, though, don't you?
I love cooking. It is a big passion of mine. So I'm always thinking about meal ideas.
You have told me, you mentioned hummus. You have told me that you make quite the hummus.
I do. I make really good hummus.
At some point, I may ask you to bring some on and we'll do a taste testing.
Oh, that'd be so fun.
I think so as well. When we're talking about sodium content for the Portobello Burger versus the Whopper, I would imagine that we're talking about another pretty big difference here.
Yeah, so the Whopper is about twice as much. It's 980 milligrams. Again, if you had cheese on that, oh man, that would go up even more. Whereas with the Portobello Burger, it's about 500 milligrams, which is definitely much better. So the good thing is, too, I don't know if you're aware of this, but when you eat a lot of plants, you're also getting a ton of potassium, which helps counteract that sodium balance. So if your blood pressure is high or having too much salt, if you eat a lot of potassium, and it can help lower your blood pressure too. Of course, you don't want to overdo it on salt, but
right, yeah,
the potassium helps, and lots of water.
I did not know just how beneficial potassium is for heart health until a show I did recently with Lee.
Oh,
she was on, the Fiber Queen was on here, but we were talking about potassium, and she laid out all of these foods that bring down blood pressure or help lower blood pressure, and I was like, Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yep,
Do you know
yep.
that there's more potassium in a cup of tomato products? So I'm assuming marinara sauce, something like that, than there is in a medium-sized banana.
Oh, wow.
Who knew? So that's just the numbers there. But let's actually look at the ingredients list. A lot of people also say, all right, well, I want to eat better, but I also want to eat clean. And so you look at the difference here between the ingredients list for the Portobello Burger, which is actually quite simple.
Yeah. So you're basically having a burger with, which is the Portobello Burger, the Portobello mushroom. One mushroom cap.
Right.
Super easy. You don't have, that's just one ingredient.
Don't overthink it, people.
And you can add some spices to it, like smoked paprika to give it that smoky flavor. Really delicious. And a little bit of salt, some garlic. And you're going to grill that. Maybe put some balsamic vinegar on it. Definitely helps bring out the flavor. Putting that on a bun with some delicious roasted red peppers and some lettuce and onion as optional topping. Whatever you really like as your toppings. Most of them work out really well.
Right on.
But, you could also make your own veggie burger from beans if you wanted to. But, I mean, this is even easier. It's literally a mushroom cap.
Anyway, real simple ingredient. Now, flip over the opposite side here of this paper, and we look once again at the information for the Whopper, and that is a Whopper of an ingredients list. I mean, look at that. I mean, you would think it'd just be, the beef and the lettuce, tomato, onion, mayonnaise is one ingredient. No, that's not the case, because if you look at everything that's in the mayonnaise, everything that goes into the bun, like that's as long as my arm.
Yeah, there's it's pretty long.
But
yeah.
What jumps out to me, and I would love to get your opinion on this as a dietitian, is if you could look at the ingredients for pickles and tell me, have you ever seen a pickle ingredient list quite like that?
No. So usually pickles are just the cucumber, water, vinegar, and salt. But they've definitely added some preservatives to it to make it more shelf stable, even some color, retention additives there. Yellow 5, don't know why that's in there. Yeah, and some spice. I mean, it doesn't need to be that long, but that's what we do in our modern day food production, unfortunately.
Right.
But same thing, like mayo and sesame, the buns itself, like those could have been way less ingredients if they were made from scratch. But that's kind of what happens when you eat fast food. You get all the preservatives with it and extra ingredients your body doesn't recognize as food.
So crunching some numbers here in my head, that's if you do the Portobello Burger versus the Whopper, you're talking about saving 500 calories and 38 grams of fat.
That is going to be so helpful if you want to lose weight.
That's it. That's the deal right there. All right, next up on the hit list, quesadillas. Like I said, I was a huge Mexican food guy. Like I was fully addicted to Taco Bell. Talked about that on the show last week. By the way, please go check out the Food Addiction Show. It was the highest single day download. First day, I don't know how to say it, but more people downloaded that show than any other show the first day that it was released. It was just wildly popular. So thank you very much for making that happen. Anyway, you hear about my addiction to Taco Bell because, well, probably cheese. Cheese is super addictive, as we know, as Dr. Barnard calls it dairy crack. But quesadillas were definitely on my typical Taco Bell order. And so I've pulled the nutritional facts for their regular cheese quesadilla and then the nutrition facts and ingredients for the quesadilla that we have on our 21-day vegan kickstart. Let's start with the fast food quesadilla. Talk to me here.
All right, Taco Bell. Quesadilla there is about 460 calories and 26 grams of fat, half of which is saturated. Big problem. Whereas if you're looking at our quesadilla recipe, it's only 135 calories and less than 3 grams of fat. So that is really, really great. Much better comparison there. Well, a lot less sodium as well.
Oh, yeah.
Only 164 milligrams in ours. And then as opposed to 980 in the Taco Bell one. Again, fast food's always, dining out in general, they're going to use way too much salt.
Oh, yeah.
So definitely a vast difference. Again, you're getting cholesterol in cheese quesadilla from Taco Bell, 50 milligrams, as opposed to none, of course, and plant-based. 4.4 grams of fiber in our Quickie quesadillas.
Yeah.
As opposed to they're about similar, actually. If you think about it, 4 grams of fiber in the other one, simply because you're also including other vegetables, similar vegetables there.
Gotcha.
So.
That is what the kids would call statistically significant.
Yes.
Again, looking at the savings there, it's about 330 calories different, saving 23 grams of fat and a little over 800 grams of milligrams of sodium.
Yeah. So if you think about it, many of the calories are coming from fat there. And with fat being 9 calories per gram, it's a good number to know. As opposed to carbs and protein, they're only 4 calories per gram. Makes sense to not have as much fat.
That will be on the test, boys and girls. What is on the vegan Quickie quesadilla? That's simple. Like, we're only talking about 5 or 6 things.
Yeah, these are really delicious. Like, whether you are a kid that likes finger foods or an adult that just loves quesadillas, these are a winner. You're really just taking your tortilla, corn or flour, whatever, and you're going to, put your hummus on there. Roasted red pepper hummus works really well, especially without any added oil, if possible. And then just sprinkle some veggies on there, close it up, and heat it on both sides in your pan, and then you're done.
I like here, we also, the recipe calls for a little bit of tahini, and we give people kind of the secret way to make tahini if you can't find it on the store shelf as well, which is really, pretty easy. Sesame seed butter and water, and throw in some sesame seeds, and voila, you got tahini.
Yeah, really simple.
It's not complicated.
No.
How about that? And then, just for grins here, looking at the fast food quesadilla, and I'm not going to go through and count because we don't have enough time, but I'm guessing, and I'm not joking. I'm going to put a conservative estimate in that we're looking at least 70 ingredients all told here.
I second that.
Yeah. That is insane to me.
It's a lot of ingredients.
Insane.
Yeah.
All right. So that's the quesadilla. Pizza. Who doesn't like pizza? Now, this is one, seriously. I could go vegan, but I love pizza. I love cheese. I can't live without it.
Yeah, well, it's no surprise. Pizza is a contributor to saturated fat in this country.
Right.
It's one of the top leading contributions because of its cheese. Of course, if you put meat on there too, you're going to get more saturated fat as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, everybody likes pizza, but we got to find a healthier swap for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think that I'm unique in that people have fond memories of bonding around the pie. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's a social thing for sure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's just the
Still
go-to.
is.
What do you want? Pizza. Okay.
Yeah.
Guess what? You can still have pizza when you're on a plant-based diet.
Yeah. And it's delicious.
I know,
Just
right?
looks different.
So for this comparison, we have our pita pizza recipe, again, from the Kickstart. And then I also pulled the nutrition info for the personal pan, just plain cheese pizza from Pizza Hut. Let's start with the calories in the healthier version first. So how many calories are we talking about in the plant-based pita pizza?
338.
That's
pretty low.
That's not bad.
No,
Yeah, that's pretty
not
good.
bad. That is compared to 600. So you double it basically.
Savings
for
of
Pizza
about
Hut.
half, yeah.
Yeah. And so again, where are those calories coming from?
Fat.
So 24 grams of fat in a personal pan pizza from Pizza Hut as opposed to 3.6 in our pita pizzas. Huge win right there.
Wow, saving about 20 grams of fat. Now, how many grams of fat should, what is the RDA for fat? What's the limit?
Well, let's think about it more. We recommend looking at 10% of your calories coming from fat. So for most people, it's probably about 20 to 30 grams a day. So you would be hitting it right there.
You just
on
blow
the
right
Pizza
on
Hut.
past it.
Yeah.
Right on past it. Okay.
Yep.
So we look at that. Cholesterol, obviously, again, none in the pita pizza. What about for the personal pan? I would imagine that with all
60.
the cheese. Yeah.
Yep, 60. Again, we've got a winner on fiber. So the personal pan pizza only has 4 from Pizza Hut of fiber, whereas the vegan pita pizza has 10.8, which is beautiful. It's exactly what I want to see in a meal.
The picture that we have on the app for this pizza is beautiful.
Yeah, it's very nice.
I've not seen a more gourmet-looking personal pizza in my entire life. It is the photos that you all took for this. I mean, just remarkable. I know that I'm putting over, our own product here, but I'm telling you, if for no other reason than just to look at the pretty pictures, download the app. If you liked what you just saw on this video, be sure to subscribe to our channel, leave a nice comment below. And oh, by the way, did you know that the Exam Room Podcast also available wherever fine podcasts are available? Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher. Go ahead and subscribe there as well. And if you would be so kind as to leave us a 5-star rating, we would greatly appreciate it.